the year, but for us as college coaches, it's really refreshing. I had people in my office this week, recruits, families, so just really thankful to be here with you today. My name is Nick Myers, and I grew up, I'm the head coach at Ohio State. I've been there almost 20 years. Head coach took over at 2009, but I started coaching Ohio State fall of 2001. I got right out of college, so a little bit of backstory of me. I grew up in southern Maine. All right, not necessarily a booming hotbed for lacrosse. Played football and basketball growing up. Parents split at a young age, and we married teachers, so I was raised by 4 educators. A little bit of every subject, which was handy. But I spent Sunday to Wednesday with my mom and stepfather, and then Wednesday night through Saturday with my father and stepmother, and a younger brother, 2 years younger than me, who's actually out there tonight coaching. He's the head coach of Lafayette. And I actually played at Ohio State, and we're fortunate to now coach the Team USA together. So, and this portion of the time really was just, we do this kind of every event that we do together, and really just a way to acclimate maybe some of the families with us. I know we got folks from different states, which is awesome. And what I'll do is just kind of open it up, maybe some questions. I know that sometimes that's a little bit uncomfortable, but I know there's a lot of things going on with the recruiting process, and oftentimes you don't necessarily get chances outside of maybe your club coach or high school coach. Just kind of say, hey, can you give me a transparent, answer on this or this, and I'll do my very best. But again, that's a little bit of my backstory. Right now, again, we're going through the process at Ohio State. I'm starting to identify, some of the final members in our 22 class, kind of halfway done there, and then, obviously anticipating the 23 start in September. So, we can talk anything from highlight videos to, things that you can do on your own to how to approach an on-campus visit, phone calls, how to respond to emails. Really, what are some of the questions that you have? You have a brave soul that maybe wants to kick us off, right? So again, it's just daily. Right now, this time of year, it's anywhere from 60 to 70 emails a day. Coach Myers, I'm so-and-so from Georgia, I'm 23, okay. So again, there's a filtering process there, so whether it comes from a company or it comes individually, we're going to take those, I'm going to send them to my assistant, we're going to file them by year, we're going to look at them. We'll give the video a quick peek, but again, whether it's coming from him or a fancy service you pay money for, there's not going to be a leg up one way or the other. Absolutely. Hey, what's one kid? So let's slow down. There's 23 class, right? So right now, September 1st will trigger the opportunity to have communication. Right now, until September 1st, there's no communication, right? So again, the most important that they do is they get better, right? We get so caught up in getting seen, right? Let's focus on, right, if you're playing Fortnite 3 hours a week, but then you're really telling mom, well, what schools am I going to go to? There lies the issue, right? And that's where the rubber meets the road. Nobody wants to really address that. And I have 2 children of my own that love to plug in at times, so I get it, right? But that's the dialogue too. You say, listen, my friend, I played Division III lacrosse. My brother played at Ohio State, so we have 2 different college experiences. Me as a Division III player, him as a Division I player. Club level. I truly believe if your son is passionate and has a burning desire to play after high school, that there is a opportunity out there for him. The fit that you hear so much about is aligning a great university, college, the athletic fit, location, size, all the things like buying a house, right? It's hard to get all the things on your wish list, right? So I think as you start to go into this summer, having the dialogue, and I think it's great that it's junior year versus 8th grade. I got a lot of guys in my roster right now that were committed to me verbally in the 8th grade. So we've gotten away from that, which is awesome. It's a blessing, right? So now you're talking to a more mature young man this summer to say, all right, honey, is location important to you, right? Tell me where you want to be, right? What are the things that really matter the most? Is he at 1300 SPSAT? Is it, his dream of playing at a big school versus a small school? And so I think as you start to filter that, if it's just, hey, I'm just going to see who talks to me on the first, that's one approach, that's probably not your best. So, we, for instance, we're doing a prospect camp in July, and we'll have a ton of 23s that come out that have identified Ohio State, they've emailed us, and I'm going to be able to come out of that, and after that, their club coach will follow up with me and say, hey coach, what do you think of Johnny? Hey, listen, here's where I see Johnny. I'll be very truthful, right? And again, just keep in mind, I remember Bucknell coach, Sid Jamison, wrote me a handwritten letter, right? Sid Jamison was an amazing man, I'm still friends with him today. Coached at Bucknell for a long time. He took the time to write me a handwritten letter and tell me I was not good enough to play at Bucknell. And I remember opening it up and reading it and being really upset. And my mom was coming in, like, what do you mean? I just stopped talking to Bucknell. And she was so right, right? My mom was a truth teller in my life. We need those people. You know, but you know, I was just like, I can't believe you told me I wasn't good enough. The bottom line is like, that was exactly what I needed to hear. The coaches that say, oh, you know, keep working, come to our camp, keep working. But at the end of the day, you're never going to go to that school. That's hard. So I think being able to be a filter as a parent is important. You know, if you're paying for a club experience, you know, that's part of what you're paying them for, is to help be a conduit and filter, kind of like, hey, if you go to a prospect day, we understand you can't make that coach want our son, but can you at least give us a direction of, is our son a Division I player?
Right.
Do we see our son in a Big Ten? You know, and again, you may not like what you hear, but the truth is key, because the truth will guide you. You know, so again, if it's like, hey, I don't see it right now, then you can have that conversation. And that was for me. It's like, hey, listen, let's look at some schools that are realistic to where you are right now. I found Springfield College. I found a great fit. I didn't play a lick my freshman year, and I finished as an All-American. I had a great experience, and it was very different than the one my brother had. So I know it's a long-winded answer. I think right now, again, there's no magic pill. You know, there's opportunities at a lot of levels, and it's having the dialogue with your son of how bad do you want it, and what are you willing to sacrifice this summer to put yourself in a position to have those conversations in the fall, and then doing a good job of filtering things this summer to kind of get a sense of when September 1st hits, where we think we are, right? Because if September 1st comes and goes, and the phone doesn't ring, and there's no emails, it's not the end of the world, right? I mean, we just added 2 seniors in our recruiting class that will come this fall. I didn't talk to at all. I didn't talk to Trey LeClaire on September 1st. It's our all-time leading goal scorer, right? That was a guy that committed middle of his senior year. So sometimes you're going to come down and find a guy. I mean, Jack Jasinski from Alabama. I know we got a couple guys from Alabama here. I came down to an event like this, saw Jack, fell in love, brought him up to campus and playing. He was a Buckeye. He wasn't a September 1st guy. So those things can happen too. The bottom line is, you know, you're looking for someone to mentor your son, right? What's success for your son, right? Like, is it, he's got to be a starter All-American? I want to give my boy to a man who I trust, who's going to help him become a better man. And if you can get there, and we can get there, and I can look at you and I say, you got 2 years, you know, to continue to build this partnership where you're going to develop that man the way we've talked. You've done an incredible job, and then when you bring him to me, I'm not going to let you down. And if you feel great about that, anything else, man, I think you have to be at peace with, right? You have to be comfortable saying, my son may not play there, but if my son spends 4 years in that culture with that man, with those people in that environment, I'm confident we made a great decision. And I think if you can say that to yourself, forget all the noise, right? Forget the noise. You know, that's a home run, right? And then look your son in the eye and say, bet on yourself, boy, right? Like, go get it.